to be behind MaRin.
Even though Kennen has had a recent buff to his AP ratios, and you're not going to have as much help with that Runan's Hurricane anymore, but Shy, he's going all in onto the Gnar towards the top side of the map, and it's going to be two little guys smacking each other until one of them's a really big guy. Smacks one of them a little bit harder, and we'll see how it is going to go for MaRin versus this Gnar, and with a different opponent towards the top side of the map could be a very different game, especially considering the fact that Mowgli is going to be joining Songwon in the jungle as well. So top side of the map has changed. We'll see who that's going to benefit as we head towards the Rift.
Yeah, all yordles all the time in the top lane. Notable that Shy has never been a strong Gnar player. He's played 10 games of Gnar in his career, 2-8, so it hasn't been a winning champion for him, but I guess a lot of that was during the struggle streak that was 2016 and onwards for the side of Shy. Still Shy versus MaRin, a legacy top lane matchup to get hyped about with the Kennen versus Gnar. Mowgli back into the team for the first time in the summer season. Has a winning record, is on the ROX side. Practice picks across the board for the side of the Afrika Freaks, but this time Alava is going to have a little bit less of a target on his back. This time he's against the Galio. Should be a comfortable farm lane as we see our debut, or re-debut I should say, of Lucian AD carry from Kramer.
Yeah, we saw the Lucian AD carry at Rift Rivals as well, so maybe a little bit of that sneaking back in, but of course Kramer, certainly a Lucian player back in the day. Tusa going to be jumping back on the Braum. His second most played here in LCK Summer, and we'll see whether it's going to make things work on the bottom side, because Lucian Braum has been a scary one, but Kalista Rakan also scary. Let's find out how it goes as we hop onto the Rift. What's your favorite thing for a Gnar to throw? Do you like the ice blocks with little penguins in them?
Sure. We'll go with that. I don't really have a full-formed opinion on Gnar skins.
Really?
Yeah, I don't play a lot of Gnar.
Well, he throws houses, he throws penguins, he throws lumps of concrete.
The Gentleman Gnar skin was probably my favorite.
Ah, the clocks. Yes. You're a clock-throwing guy.
I guess
like
so.
it. Well, we'll see whether you can throw a clock out of this one. I'm not sure whether he will, as that's going to have to be a flash knock-up, and it does come in. First blood all too easily. Goes over to Mowgli, and it's doesn't matter what the duo is. Seems like Afrika Freaks work through the top side. I
don't know about Shy's ordering as well. Flashed last as he was almost certainly going to die. Could have flashed and then hopped onto a minion and got away very safely, but if you bring enough bad guys, maybe you can make this work anyway.
Yep, the Goon squad turning up towards the top side, but there's going to be a heroic entrance
could be a
to help
turnaround.
them out. Exactly right. Heroic entrance comes in early as now MaRin's just looking for Shy. No Naba there at all, and Shy's just left for the Wolves. Kuro picks up his slice of the pie, and the Afrika Freaks once again off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah, now Shy is looking like he's going to be in a huge hole, dies a second duo lane to the top. Now the duo lane, and as you can see, it's all about the rock, paper, scissors in terms of lane assignments. Songwon has tried to steal the red buff in the time.
Yeah, and the heroic entrance is going to be there. The Void Assault comes out. That's going to be Mowgli picking up the kill all too easily this time. The ult was already on cooldown, and Songwon just donates that red buff all the way back to Mowgli, and he'll transition immediately to this Infernal Drake. And for his first game of the season, Mowgli's looking good, but Songwon, I mean, what was he doing there, really?
I mean, Songwon's just trying to answer the...
Dances his way over to Songyun. MaRin turns himself up, does have the ultimate available, and there's the the heroic entrance, but it's a little bit too early, as there's the double stun. Now the Glacial Fissure comes out, and the culling is just thrown straight into Songwon. Kramer is going to be able to pick up that kill as the ROX Tigers. Health bars are low, but they're able to turn this one around as the Featherstorm comes in. Kuro now right in amongst it, but he's going to be taken down 2 for 1. Now in favor of ROX, who just team fought that one nicely, but MaRin, rush of blood to the head, as he is wont to do sometimes.
Yeah, Galio was not able to get a taunt on the second rotation. The kiting damage from the Featherstorm and Songyun, as they kited back, did so much more damage with the extra range than Afrika Freaks could do. Lucian's culling down early meant they didn't have enough damage, and in the end, it does end up being a trade-up for the Tigers. Perhaps the first time this series they've found their nose ahead. We're going to see the replay. MaRin comes in, he has the hero's entrance, but he's super, super squishy. He even went Berserker's Greaves for the build. So it doesn't end up being the knock-up party, even with the Glacial Fissure afterwards, that the Afrika Freaks thought would propel them to a teamfight victory. Teamfighting with an AD Cannon has let down many teams in the past, and the setup here wasn't clean enough even after the early advantages that Kennen had gotten, to actually win a team fight.
Yeah, it was just really smooth positioning from ROX as well, as Key was able to CC the key targets and everybody else was able to just create the space. The front line for Afrika Freaks could not make enough room for the damage dealers. Or really, the damage Lava's looking to try and do damage to Kuro, but gets through the shield-ish. And everything's going to be okay. ROX actually looking to collapse onto Kuro. Justice Punch is still going to be there for him to create some distance. It still has his flash as MaRin is fighting Shy once again. That is just going to be enough. The Void Rush almost unnecessary out of Mowgli.
Shy doesn't have any wards on that side of the map. Only one very shallow ward to the left of, or below I should say, is in a turret. So we'll just lose out in that scenario. And the predictably was no way to turret dive a Adaptive Helm, Glacial Shroud, Ninja Tabi Galio.
Sungyun looking to slow down Tucson. Teleport's coming in now for the ROX Tigers as Lava makes his way over. Package is going to be delivered and Mowgli is going to be the recipient. See you later. Back to the Death Chamber as that is going to be tower traded for that kill and the teleport, I guess, from Teleport is going to be coming in from Kuro, who now has full health once again, and this Baron is doing damage. Remember, it's a Runic Echoes.
Oh, baby!
They start this fight off, and Shy looks for the Gnar. Doesn't quite get the stuns that they want. An heroic entrance is going to be good. MaRin actually, enough space on the back end as Kramer with the fadeaway culling's going to be able to do the work. The Gnar is really not necessarily the one that's able to get the work done for ROX so far, because he's so far behind, but that is going to deter them from doing the Baron, even though ROX only lose one.
But the traction of drafting a Gnar is that even if you fall behind, team fights, you can still get the Wombo engaged. So not getting it here is critical. Kuro goes for the very solo queue-esque play of just backdooring the turret. He's Galio, he thinks he'll be fine, but with the teleport up, someone was going to be caught. It ended up being Mowgli, which is probably the worst person because it gave an invitation to the Baron. We'll get to the Baron play in a minute as we watch MaRin soloing down the Ocean Drake. Apparently won't get to see the replay. I would love to see the team
make his way in there as well as MaRin's going to turn up. Still has the ultimate. And he does a lot of damage as Lava takes a lot as well. Mowgli gets himself into the pit, but it's not going to be the Baron steal. Gnar into the wall means that the Rek'Sai's dead, but Kramer, can he do the damage? They're low health bars, but MaRin's going to be taken down. It's a double kill, as well as the Baron being taken down for Sungyun. Playing beautifully, and Kramer gets flanked, and Lava tears him apart. Tucson is going to follow. That's going to be the ace, and Afrika, it's Game 2 syndrome all over again.
It certainly is, Atlas. The Game 2 script was written before it even started. The Rose interests haven't been massive. They may just watch another turret go down.
Well, the package does have to get expended, so maybe an opportunity for the Afrika Freaks, but they have to deal with the super creeps in the mid lane. And while they're doing that, Sungyun does so much damage to the turret and to the inhibitor. Then immediately afterwards, there's the Gnar. The triple knockback is going to come in, but not a lot of stuns, as there's the heroic entrance. Can Afrika Freaks find something back here as Shy soaking so much damage? Mowgli evaporates in the backline, but now Kramer is getting the damage through. Songwan takes a lot, and now Sungyun gets exhausted, but they just don't have enough damage to finish him off, and Lava's still there doing so much work. It's a 1-for-1 trade, key for Mowgli. The Afrika Freaks at least hold on for the moment.
Yeah, the front line, bottom inhibitor probably will go down if they contest the Baron. No teleports up for MaRin or Kuro. And that is a fast Baron.
That is an extraordinarily fast Baron, and they do have those feathers on the ground as well, as Kuro's going to move his way in. Songwan is going to be able to lock this one down just fine. ROX Tigers now back themselves away, and Justice Punch is interrupted. Shy jumps in, he's got the Mega Gnar available. The decent spacing comes out of the Afrika Freaks. Shy soaking a lot, but isn't actually getting too much space bought for his backline, who only take half the health of Mowgli and Tucson.
In the picture-in-picture, you can see that even just occupying the time of the Afrika Freaks is all they need to do. One Nexus turret already goes down.
Yep, Shy utilizes his health bar before and now just teleports back after he gets that one out. And Mowgli, no man's land, tunnels his way out, but he's still getting chased down. The Hyper comes in. Heal comes out as well. Mowgli is left alive as there's the explosive cast for the finish. And Kuro now finds himself overextended. He's not going to be able to get his CC in there. And look at that burst damage. In goes Shy. Another wallop is going to stun up Tucson. He's going to fall. And now MaRin just runs forward in desperation. The Afrika Freaks are going to get tied up once again. It's a 2-1 dream for this team. 2-2-0 so far this season, but it's been all about winning and losing and winning and losing, and we don't necessarily know what we're going to get, and it makes it so exciting. But the ROX Tigers play this one out so much better.
Yeah, the Afrika Freaks are still must-see TV. You never know what you'll get out of this squad. Game 1, close to perfection. Game 2, such a narrow win condition that inevitably They made one mistake, and their draft really kind of let them down in terms of getting back into the game. So we will be going to a climactic third game. Red side so far has been the winning side in both games, and really no idea what we will see from Afrika, because ROX just played pretty standard League of Legends. Shy had one of the worst Gnar performances we've seen in a long time, and yet wasn't even needed to be on point with his Mega Gnar ultimates, and it was a pretty comfortable victory, all things considered, for ROX Tigers.
And it shows once again that the bottom lanes is where it's all about with both of these teams a large portion of the time, because that Xayah was so good out of Sangyu, and I'd like to have a look at the damage graph, because I have a feeling he probably did a whole bunch of work throwing those feathers around the map.
But it was a good game from Mowgli coming in, even if it was a defeat. Interested to see if Spirit will come back on for the experience edge in Game 3. The ROX Tigers, they still want to cement their win streak. They can move to 4 wins.